Hello everybody. I thought we'd learn all about bees. This book is an information book. It's different to a storybook. It tells us all about something. And this book tells us all about bees. The bee. So inside it's got a picture of 3 types of bee. They're all in the same family. The little one is a worker. The big one in the middle, she's the queen. She's got a very important job. And this is a drone. And they each do different things. So we're going to find out about the worker bee and a little bit about the queen bee. So here's the worker bee. She's got work to do. And here she is out and about collecting. Can you remember what she collects? We've talked about this at school. She collects nectar. She's got a special tongue that can suck up the nectar, which is like a little drink inside, deep inside the flower. She's going to collect it and take it back to the hive. Here she is. This is what she looks like. She's got 2 huge eyes, 2 very sensitive antennae that help her feel her way along, 2 wings, which she needs. That's how she gets about. And legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 legs. Big furry body. And inside here she's got her proboscis, her special tongue to collect nectar. Once she's found some delicious nectar from flowers, she wants to tell her friend worker bees where to go and get it. So she comes back and does a little dance. It's called a waggle dance. Inside the hive, she goes round and round in a sort of figure of 8, round and round like a little loopy pattern on the floor. And then she stops and does a wiggle. And when she wiggles her behind in the direction of the flowers. And that points the way. So when they come out of the hive, they remember which way she was waggling to show them where to go. And they find the flowers. And here they are. Yay, we found the flowers. Lovely, 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 lovely. They all go back into the hive once they've collected the nectar. So meanwhile, inside, here are the big sister worker bees going in and out. And the little sister worker bees are keeping everything clean and tidy inside the hive. Look at them, busy, busy, busy. I bet if we could hear them, it would be zzzz. Okay, so here, like we saw on the previous page, here are all the little holes called honeycomb where the queen is going to put her eggs. But they've got to make the honeycomb first. And here, these little bees down here are making some wax, little wax balls. And wax is like what birthday candles are made from. That's wax. And they make their very own wax and they pass it up in little balls up to the worker bees who are making the honeycomb. Here we are. Thank you very much. Can you pass it to me? Thank you. Got it. It's coming up. It's coming up. And they stick it all together to make this lovely structure. So once the structure is made, the queen bee gets very busy. Here she is laying her eggs. Can you see inside each of these holes, she's put a tiny little egg. And here you can see how much they've grown. And these are the worker bees looking after them. That's their job. Once they get this big, because the egg was that big, and now it's grown into a grub this big, these worker bees then put a little lid on it. They make another lid. They make a lid out of wax and they seal it up to keep it nice and safe. And inside, the egg is growing from the tiny little egg, bigger, bigger. Well, it's beginning to look like a bee, bigger and bigger. I'm so big, I'm ready to come out now. I'm a bit squashed up in here. So it's taken 3 weeks for the bee to get big enough to come out. And once she does come out, or he does come out, the baby bee is very, very hungry. And so the worker bees feed the baby with some, yes, honey. So if there are too many babies and they get too big, they have to move out of their hive because they're just a bit squashed in there. And off they go together in a swarm until they find a nice new home. In they go through the little doorway and settle down and start all over again to build their honeycomb inside. And this is the last page we're going to look at. This is the beekeeper, and the beekeeper's got these very special clothes on because bees do sting sometimes, not always, but just in case the bee is feeling a bit cross and wants to sting, he's covered himself in this net, but he can just about see through. And he's taken the honeycomb out of the hive, and with a special knife he's just slicing off the wax. And once the wax is sliced off, out drips and oozes all the honey which he collects in pots, and we can make biscuits and cakes or just eat it with our fingers. Delicious. Thank you, bees. Thank you for being so helpful and looking after the flowers and us with your delicious honey.